The appetizer is prepared by James Leeming at Dicky Brennan's Steakhouse in New Orleans. It's seared sirloin strip and lobster roulade served with shoestring potatoes. Then from Minneapolis, Mark Haugen serves the entree at Tejas' Southwestern operation. It's lime-crusted sautéed trout fillets with a Jicama mango relish. Finally, from New York City, young Frenchman Philippe Roussel presents dessert. It's a well-executed version of a classic apple tart using a puff pastry crust. The executive chef at Dicky Brennan's Steakhouse in New Orleans is James Leeming. Born in Managua, Nicaragua, his first restaurant experience was at Commander's Palace. He worked through the stations, first under Emeril Lagasse, then Jamie Shannon. His appetizer is hefty steak and lobster roulades.
What I'm going to do today is a seared sirloin strip and lobster roulade tower. First step, got a little olive oil, brush that sirloin strip, season it with a little coarse salt, and cracked black pepper. And then I got a cast iron skillet, really hot. You gotta make sure the cast iron skillet is really hot to sear the sirloin properly and golden brown. You want to cook it like medium to medium rare.
More olive oil is brushed on.
Got to sear all the 4 sizes. While we're searing the strip, I'm gonna start getting ready with the lobster tail. We're using an African lobster tail. It's about 8 ounces of meat in it.
The steak is turned for the 3rd time. Incidentally, this cast iron cookery arguably started in New Orleans with Paul Prudhomme's blackened method. Technically, this steak is not blackened, but simply seared quickly over the high heat. The final surface that is the edge of the steak is seared.
As you can see, it's totally golden brown. Now I'm going to increase the heat on the preparation for the lobster tail. I got a little bit of water. I'm going to put a little bit of salt. The strip is done. Now I'm going to let it rest before we cut it. The water is boiling. Throw the lobster tail in. It will take about 7 to 8 minutes. The lobster tail that has been boiled, cooked for 7 minutes. Now we're gonna split it in half and get all the meat out. You just pull the whole thing out. Make sure you don't have no shells. Now we're gonna cut into small dice medallions. And set it on the side. We're gonna cut on the bias, the strip, to make the roulade.
It's obvious here that, like beauty, medium rare is in the eye of the beholder.
Try to cut it as thin as possible. Right. Now you let all the meat, let it get flat. We use 3 roulade per appetizer. What we do is just roll the lobster meat. Now I'm going to prepare the sauce for the dish. I got the veal reduction or demi-glace. Let it reduce into a glaze. It's going to take about 10-15 minutes. Now the sauce is totally reduced and I'm ready to do the final step of the dish. And I garnish with a fried shoestring potato, very crispy. Lobster and strip roulade with a veal reduction and fried shoestring potato.
At the height of the Southwestern food craze, one of the more popular operations in Minneapolis was Tejas. At the time of taping, the executive chef was Mark Haugen, who had garnered national attention in Esquire, Cook's Magazine, Cosmopolitan, and Food and Wine. His entree is crusted trout with Jicama mango salsa.
I'm going to prepare a dish with rainbow trout. It's lime-crusted trout with Jicama mango relish. And to prepare the breading for the trout, I'm using fresh limes that I'm going to peel. And when you peel the lime, you want to avoid getting too much of the white from inside the skin because it's bitter. I'm actually going to cut some of that out. I'm going to take the zest and put it in a food processor, and I have some Japanese breadcrumbs, and the reason I use the Japanese breadcrumbs is because there's no crust, they're nicely dry, and they're kind of just ready to use. I'll put that in there with the lime, zest, and 1 shallot. And then just going to grind that all together.
The Japanese breadcrumbs are called panko.
And add a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. You want to let that go till the lime gets very finely minced. This just gets dumped into a bowl, and we'll set that aside until we're ready to bread the fish. And this trout is from a local trout farm called Star Prairie, so it's nice and very fresh. And the first thing I've already done is cut the head and the tail off the trout. And then what I want to do is just cut off this bottom belly meat here, which has got kind of a layer of bones on it. And then there's a layer of bones right here in the middle that are connected to the top fin. And I'm going to separate this into two fillets. Do the same with the other side. And then I want to skin the fish. And I just kind of grab the tail and then get underneath the flesh and then just cut it along. And again with the other side. Now I want to pull the pin bones out, which is a row of almost invisible bones that runs right about through the middle of the fillet. And I'm going to use some needle nose pliers, or you could use a tweezers too. See, those bones are very tiny. You almost have to feel your way along. And I just have some beaten eggs, some flour, and the lime breading. And what I want to do first is to season the fish. I want to season each fillet with a little bit of salt. Do both sides. And then dip that in the flour first. And then into the eggs. And then into the breading. Get a good coating on it.
The breaded fillets can be refrigerated while the Jicama mango relish is prepped.
Just have a Jicama that is peeled.
Jicama is also called a Mexican potato. It's a legume that grows underground as a tuber. The flesh is crisp, crunchy, and sweet. It can be eaten raw or cooked. Red bell pepper has been seeded.
And flip it over. Then with a very sharp knife, we're just going to get up under the skin and cut that peel off. Because what I want is the raw flavor of the pepper, but I don't want the bitter flavor from the skin.
The jicama and pepper are julienned along with mango. Jalapeno pepper heats up the relish. Whole cilantro leaves and fresh lime juice finish the relish. The breaded fillets are cooked in butter.
Then once that's grease has stopped spattering or the butter is ready to go, throw the trout in the pan. This will cook very quickly. And I've got it on medium-high heat. You want to get the butter very hot, but then once you put the fish in, you want to turn it down so that it doesn't burn the breadcrumbs. Let the other side get nice and golden brown. And it's ready to plate.
Tomato and tomatillo vinaigrettes begin presentation.
Then I want to put a little bit of the relish on the plate. And lay the salmon or the trout up against the relish. A little bit more relish across the top. Garnish with a couple sprigs of cilantro. That's it.
At the time of taping, La Medori, an intimate Manhattan spot, featured the cuisine of Philippe Roussel. He worked, among others, at Trois Gras in Roanne and three-star restaurant Michel Garrard, both in his native France. In New York, he worked at Windows on the World before La Medori. Here is his simple apple tart. The chef uses an 8-inch round of puff pastry. With a fork, he pokes holes to inhibit rising during the baking. Apple halves, cored and peeled, are sliced thinly. Some slices are put in the middle, then overlapped on the edge of the round. The chef continues to layer in this manner until 4 layers are mounded at the top. Note a ½ inch of pastry is left uncovered. Butter and sugar complete the prep. The tart is placed in a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes, then baked an additional 15 minutes at 200 degrees. Notice that only the exposed edge of the pastry has puffed up. Raspberry puree garnishes.